Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Divine Union podcast. Today, we're discussing why fear of rejection blocks intimacy and passion in relationship. I'm really excited to dig into this topic because this is something that keeps coming up in my conversations with my clients. And I want to speak to the rejection piece because rejection and fear of rejection is something many people feel. And where does that come from? That fear of rejection. And that fear of rejection often comes from, at a subconscious level, loss of the connection, loss of the relationship, abandonment that fuels that fear that prevents you from being fully yourself, allowing yourself to be seen. And we're covering this today because for relating, everyone wants to feel deep intimacy, deep connection, deep sense of passion and fuego and fire. And so we're going to talk about how that fear is blocking you from actually feeling those things, right? As a means to invite you to do some work, keep doing some work to overcome these crunchy bits, yeah, so that you can be fully free and authentic. Right. So at a subconscious level, at a core level, that fear comes from not allowing yourself to be seen. Yeah. Fear of loss of the connection of the relationship. Fuck, we're a little rusty here. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Divine Union podcast. And if this is your first episode where you're tuning in with us today, welcome. It's going to be a good one because today we are digging into why fear of rejection blocks intimacy and passion in relationship. I'm really jazzed to talk about this topic because this keeps coming up in my conversations with my clients. And I want to empower you because everyone deserves deep intimacy, deep states of connection, wild passion. And working through this crunchy area is going to be super helpful for you to alchemize and transform that so that you can feel more connection in all of your relationships. Fear of rejection, where does that come from? At a deep level, at a subconscious level, and maybe conscious level, yeah, that comes from fear of loss of the relationship, fear of loss of the connection, of abandonment. And that fear is so strong that it often prevents you from fully allowing yourself to be seen, from fully expressing yourself in the relationship. Now, how does that, why is that important? Yeah, for intimacy. Why does that relate to intimacy? Because when you think about deep states of intimacy, right? Like fuck what the other person's feeling. Let's start with you. Yeah. If you are not fully being seen, if you are not allowing yourself to be loved and fully showing up as you, who you are, right? That's not going to feel good. You're going to end up resenting your partner. You're going to carry anger, frustration, right? If that love feels like it's conditional. And so the more that you work with this fear of rejection and you allow yourself to be seen, you're going to have deeper levels of intimacy because true intimacy comes from allowing yourself to be seen, comes from meeting each other heart to heart, human being to human being, not mind to mind, sharing your perspective, being met by another. I've had my closest relationships with the sisters in my life. We have gone through conflict. And to be able to share my truth, not change my truth. Obviously, working with the communication piece is important. That's what I teach in my work because honing how you express, how you communicate is important when you're being authentic if you want to get the response you desire. But like allowing myself to be seen and then having them meet me there and be like, oh, damn, yes, I can still be loved in my expression. I can still be loved when I'm sharing this kind of relating isn't feeling good for me. And this is what I desire, right? That deep acceptance from another person feels so good. It's so healing. And that's what can happen when you are authentic, when you work through that fear of the rejection and you fully own yourself. Because we get afraid to own our boundaries, right? My boundary is going to put someone off. Oh, If I say something that doesn't resonate, yeah, they're gonna close. They're gonna get angry. They're gonna be frustrated, right? Ultimately, what? They're gonna leave you. Oh, if I express my desires, maybe I'm gonna be too much, too needy, right? It plays into that like too muchness, too difficult to love. I used to feel that way. Like, oh shit, it's too much for me to ask for these things. So I'm just gonna shove it down because I want to be loved. I don't want to lose the connection. Now, I will get into that in a moment. Yeah. There's so much here, so much depth. Right. And so true intimacy is really like two fully whole sovereign beings choosing to relate, choosing to show up. Now, it doesn't mean that someone's always going to receive you, right? It's going to be in ebbs and flows. Maybe you speak your truth. Maybe it doesn't resonate. Maybe there's someone who severs the connection, severs the relationship quickly, right? People have their own triggers, their own traumas, their own fears of intimacy that drive the way that they relate, the way that they respond. Yeah. And knowing that and not making it personal and also being curious about that, right, is going to help you with the relating. Right. And so not letting that drive you and expressing self. So people will be in and out. Sometimes they'll respond well to it. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll cut the relationship. Maybe then they'll come back a month later. Hey, let's reconnect. Maybe you invite them to reconnect. Right. It's allowing space for like what needs to be without trying to control it, just controlling self, which is all you can do. And then letting it unfold, right? Sharing from your heart. And so this fear of rejection, right? It comes out in us not expressing our boundaries, comes out when you don't express your needs fully. You may also try to control your partner, try to control the relationship, how it's unfolding. And why does that happen? Because if you're scared of loss of the relationship, of abandonment from a core wound perspective, control provides this false means of safety, right? I'm going to try to control you. I might manipulate you, shame you, guilt you, right? Been there to get you to stay by me, to get you to step up and lead in the ways I desire. Because then you won't abandon, right? And that's not an enjoyable way to relate. It doesn't feel good on either end. There's resentment on the receiver's end. There's also resentment on the giver's end, to be quite frank. And so speaking from the heart is really the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it where it feels good. Now, we fear rejection when we don't have a strong masculine core. I want you to think of your masculine core like this groundedness, right? These roots of a tree. I need to get my charger. Your mask, I don't want to have another crap out. I recorded this once already and I had no sound. It was a little hectic. So here we go again, but I have bringing in the energy every time is a new flavor, baby. So think of your masculine core like these roots of a tree, groundedness in who you are. Now, if you don't have that solid masculine core, you're going to crumble at the first sign of rejection, right? It's going to break you. And when you have that solid masculine core, this knowing of who you are, like I'm expressing myself. Yeah, I'm sharing what I desire. And that's fair. That's okay, right? Building yourself up. Then your feminine can play. Your feminine can be playful and silly and relate in creative ways. So I'll give you a flavor so you can feel me, right? It's like, let's say you're at a restaurant, yeah, with your lover, and you're like feeding them a bite of food. You're trying to be all sexy. You're like feeling yourself. Maybe you got like, a brownie on a fork or like drizzled with vanilla ice cream on top. You're like putting it towards their mouth, like going to feed them, thinking you're all fly. And then they look at you and they respond and they're like, oh, what are you trying to baby me? What are you, my mother? Right? They give something like a slight. Yeah. Now, if you don't have that solid masculine core, you're going to shrivel at that, right? That's going to crush the shit out of you. Now, if you have that solid masculine core, then it's like, okay, your femme can play. Okay, right? You can go there. What does it feel like for you? Then it's like, okay, you know what you were doing. You were trying to be sexy. You were enjoying it, babe. But I want to watch that brownie swish up through your teeth, and I want to see your tongue slide across your teeth. And I'm going to watch you as you savor every bite because it turns me on. Yeah. right? It's like, oh, yeah, let's play. You want to throw me a slight? Let's play with it because you know that your energy shifts their energy. We believe everything is energy, which it is, baby, right? How you respond can turn someone off one moment, turn them on the next, baby. Yeah. And when that's why I love working with the masculine because you really need that masculine core to provide safety for your femme to play. Right? This is for anyone, man, woman, gender non-conforming individual. Yeah. Like you need both energies. If you want to be playful, if you want to relate and not letting that fear of rejection block you from initiating in fun, interesting ways, right? Like that, initiating intimacy, initiating sex. If maybe they turn you down, it's like, okay, I'm going to just go self pleasure for a little bit. I'll see you later. We can pick up where we left off, watch that movie. Yeah. Rambo, watch Rambo. Yeah, like a man's movie or whatever it is. Kidding, but it's like you can play with it. You can explore. What else? It allows you to initiate, yeah? And even it's like naming the desires. Ooh, babe, I want to go to the Hamptons for the weekend. I'm going to book us a sexy little hotel. All I need you to do is get your snazziest outfit, be ready by 7 a.m. because we got a drive to do, and the rest is a surprise. Yeah. Now they might not react well. Maybe they're like, "No, this isn't going to work. I have work. I can't take time off." How do you convince someone, right? How do you convince a cat to come over and drink some milk? You're not like, drink the goddamn milk. Meow, meow. No, you're like, come over here. Come here. Pooty pooties. At least that's what I do. So it's like, how are you gonna, okay. Fine, we call it a deal. You go to work for 3 hours and then you're coming with me. Right? And if they say no, fine. Then it's like, great, I'm going to the Hamptons. Whatever your truth is, great. I'm going to go out with my friends. We're doing this next weekend, so you better plan for it. Right? It's like allowing yourself to express yourself in the relationship, to be seen in all your wild, silly ideas and all your joy and who you are and how you want to further the intimacy and the relating. And that's allowing someone to truly see you. Right? I talked about the first end of like, you're not going to feel fulfilled if you don't allow yourself to be seen. And you're doing the relationship a disservice if you're not allowing them to fully see you. Because then they're seeing in an intimate relationship with a shell of you that's only half of who you are. Yeah, like a freaking zombie. You may as well be a zombie. You know what I mean? It's like you're not even a real person. And so the masculine is important here, right? Working with both energies. This is why I love this because I used to crumble at rejection, and my masculine, healthy masculine, made way for me to be in my healthy feminine. Yeah, it allowed me to surrender, allowed me to play, be a little more easeful. Yeah, express my heart. See where else we want to go with that. Why is this powerful for passion? Because for passion to thrive, stand the test of time, you think of your passion as your fuego. Yeah, it's your desire for each other. Passion needs polarity. Polarity is created from spark. It's that magnetic attraction, right? Like you light a match, right? That match lights in the matchbook, mixes with the oxygen. Boom, a flame is lit, right? A battery, positive and negative ions through which electricity flows. Shit, polarity, magnetic attraction. Polarity is also friction. Yeah. Now, if you want to deep dive into polarity, definitely listen to my podcast episode all on polarity because it's absolutely incredible. I really break it down. I have no clue what number it is at this point because I'm channeling this baby from the mind right now, like I do with all my episodes. But check it out. I talk about the wounded. I talk about how to have passion and polarity that stands the test of time. What is polarity? And then the 4 keys to passion, having passion, all the things. I think it's somewhere in the 30s and 40s. So polarity, right? It's also friction. Friction is created by tension, right? Healthy conflict. A little bit of like, ooh, you do this, but I'm in my sovereign expression. This is what I desire. Babe, this doesn't feel good. Ooh, babe, we're going to the Hamptons because I want to. Yes, stirring up the monotony, causing a little bit of friction. Now, if you're afraid of rejection, You're going to be in people pleaser mode. You're going to be dimming your expression at the expense of your partner to appease your partner. And so you're not going to have that polarity. It's probably going to be more of a roommate dynamic. You might have some polarity, but it might feel like acting. Yeah. It might not be that natural. It's definitely not might not. It's definitely not that natural polarity. Yeah. Where that fuego is high, where they're crazy for you. Yeah. Because they hate you one moment, but they love you the next. Yeah. You drive them crazy in your wild expression, but they're crazy for you at the same time. Oh, yes. That's that kind of passion I'm going for. But you can't keep your hands off each other, where you're crazy for each other, where you're both fully expressed and wild and free, but connected to your hearts, and the intimacy is deep and the passion is fiery and beautiful. Yeah, that kind of relating where you can like melt into the cosmos, that intimacy that's so deep that it is almost uncomfortable. You guys explode into a giant orgasm, cosmic orgasm of bliss and pleasure. Yeah. With those primal, that fuego, that earthy energy. So I say this because working with the rejection piece is so essential to having that. Thus, working to balance your masculine and feminine energetics. This is why I do this work. This is why I love this work, because it changed my life. It changed the lives of the clients I work with. Continues to change the lives of the clients I work with. Why? Because you need that masculine, right? To work with your fear of rejection. Because deep down, too, with that fear of loss of the relationship, of disconnection, what comes from it? It's a lack of safety within self. I don't trust myself to be okay. I don't trust myself to take care of myself. I'm afraid if I lose you, I'm going to be incomplete. I need you to save me, validate me, make me whole. Right. And when you come from this place of disempowerment instead of sovereignty and wholeness, right, of course you're going to be afraid of rejection because you're afraid to lose the connection. Now, what I love is actually, I will go to that saying in a moment. But one thing that I'm like, all these ideas in my freaking mind right now, it's like a freaking popcorn of all these flavors. So you also have to be willing, yeah, with this rejection piece, is to have true intimacy. You have to be willing to feel both polarities at once. So you have to know, maybe my partner is going to be so attracted to me one moment. Maybe by me expressing authentically, they're going to be repulsed at times. Yeah. And that's part of the game. It's allowing yourself to go there, to feel both, allowing them to feel both through your expression. And of course, being mindful of how you express is important. You can still repulse someone even when you're connected to your heart, right? Because they have their own wounds, their own triggers, their own shit that's inviting how they're responding to you. But it's being able to hold that. And you need that masculine core to hold yourself through it. I got you. You're okay. I love you. You're incredible. They didn't respond in the way you desired. Oof, that freaking hurt. That's okay. Right? And we all feel rejection at different times all the time. It's totally normal. But it's not letting it rule you, not letting it own you. You own it. You eat it for breakfast with a chalice of champagne, baby. Game on. You welcome, bro. You welcome, sis. Let's get it. Keep it up. You want to dish me something? I'm going to dish you a spicy fried rice back because that's the energy I'm feeling. Yeah. I'm not going to let you impact my energy. Why don't you match my energy? Or why don't you be in your energy and I'm going to be in my energy? Because that feels better. Yes. One of my favorite sayings, a bird lands on a branch, not because it trusts the branch not to break, but it trusts its own ability to fly away. You got to trust yourself to leave when you need to leave, to handle life and navigate if you are left. Yeah. To honor yourself in a situation, a ring, kids, nothing you can do can actually control another person. That can control you being abandoned. No, if they want to abandon you, they will. They can. But what you can do is strengthen that core, strengthen that sense of safety within. And I'm going to take a minute to talk about Inner Union, my new 5-month transformational baby group coaching container, because we begin on October 1. And it relates to this because it's all about coming into sovereignty, coming back into wholeness. Yeah. Knowing that that is the key to your thriving. Not expecting anyone to fix you, save you, make you whole, but bringing that all inside. Why? So you can have incredible relationships. So we start October 1st. It's over the course of 5 months, an incredible container of amazing women, an amazing community of women who are going to build you up, celebrate you, whom you can share, seek support, collaborate with. There are 3 pillars. Yeah. The first one is expansion for intimacy. How do you open yourself so you can feel deeper intimacy with another? Starting with intimacy with self, working through those triggers, those limiting beliefs, those unhealthy attachment patterns, right? Becoming your own best friend, your own muse, your own lover, enlivening yourself with your energy, feeling incredibly confident in who you are so that you can magnetize that incredible relationship. Or if you're in a relationship, so you can call in even more enjoyable dynamics. And then the second phase, it's working with healing and balancing of the masculine and feminine, right? How do you work on bringing harmony to your energies? We'll be using different tools, different modalities to work with these energies in relationship. How working with your masculine and how you're showing up in relationship, working with your feminine and how you're showing up. And then the third pillar, to bring that baby home, wrap it up in a pretty little bow, yeah? Work on your embodiment of your communication. Because communication is super important when you express, not just with words, but non-verbally, with the body, energetically. Yeah, because if you say something and your body's not on board, someone will feel it. They'll feel the lack of agency behind your words, the insecurity behind your words. They'll feel it in the energetic field. And you'll there, you'll learn, how do you become that living embodiment of your being, of your balanced being? How do you learn the art of subtlety, of invitation, inviting your partner to rise to meet you, not demanding? Yeah, bringing in humor, bringing in play. It's going to be so beautiful, so powerful. And if you feel the call, if you feel resonance, yeah, keep my website. It's in the show notes. You can go there. You can apply for a spot in this incredible program, and I would be happy to consider you. Yeah. Oh, this was incredible. I am so enlivened again. Today we talked all about why fear of rejection blocks intimacy and passion in relationship. We talked about ways that fear of rejection can manifest and you not showing up fully, not allowing yourself to be seen. We talked about true intimacy and what intimacy actually means and how to see each other, allow yourself to see each other, show yourself in this relationship, in your relationship, so that you can feel fulfilled, so that they get to know the real you. We talked about passion and polarity, right? Polarity is making passion thrive. And how do you keep that passion? And sovereignty and wholeness, right? And having 2 people who come together and choose each other, not out of codependence, but because they want to. It's been such a pleasure. And if you dug this episode as an energetic exchange, leave us a review in Apple Podcasts. It would mean so much to the podcast. This is how we gain traction. This is how we spread this mission of intimacy and passion and love among humanity, mutual perspective among humanity, healing of the energies, healing of the genders. Huh? And if you're watching the YouTube version, yeah, leave us a comment. Would love to hear your thoughts. Also on the pod, please. Also Apple Podcast. Come on, we love that, baby. Yeah, it would mean so much to us. And I look forward to seeing you beautiful souls next week. And until then, may all your unions be divine.